Hello, this is Todd Luck, and this is a review of the Best Buy limited edition steelbook for the new Hellboy movie. So this is a steelbook exclusively available at Best Buy, and this has Mike Mignola artwork on it, and it is absolutely gorgeous. When you get it, it'll look something like this. It'll have this little bit of cardboard on it to basically tell you what the movie is, and it'll actually have the back, and you'll just open it up. It'll be shrink wrapped, and you remove this, and then you're left with the gorgeous Mike Mignola artwork, and it runs on the front and back and is just really nice to look at. I love this. The leaf pattern continues on the inside and looks quite nice. The set includes a digital copy, which isn't particularly interesting to look at. You just basically get your digital download code here. And you get both the 4K and the Blu-ray version of the movie. And I gotta say, the images on the disc look absolutely gorgeous. I love this particular one. I mean, it just looks really cool. As far as special features go, there aren't that many. There's 3 deleted scenes, and they are complete finished scenes. The first 2 I thought were quite nice and should have been in the movie, and then the third one I was okay with not being in the movie. It was one of those scenes where the monsters are walking around in public in a modern setting, and I just didn't really care for that in the movie. There is a really nice documentary on making the movie. It's over an hour long, and it'll show you a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And it's really impressive, all the practical effects they used in the movie. There's a lot of, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of computer generated stuff in there too, but it's really impressive and surprising the stuff that they did practical effects on. Like, for instance, the pig monster was actually a guy in a suit, and same thing with Baba Yaga. I mean, just things I would have never thought that they would have done practically, they actually did, and actually existed on that set, which is pretty impressive. I wish there were more special features. I really would have liked to have seen a director's commentary or a commentary period with Mignola actually reacting, you know, as the scenes happened in the movie to seeing his work, you know, so directly adapted on the screen. I think that would have been really interesting. Maybe, you know, maybe some future release of the movie can have that. But I am happy with the stuff that we got. I just wish it was more. As far as the special features go. As far as the movie goes, I've already done a pretty extensive review. You can just look that up on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description below, but to kind of put it in a nutshell, I found it to be an enjoyable but imperfect movie. The first 35 minutes, I just rewatched it, and the first 35 minutes are amazing. I mean, they are very directly adapted from various comics Mignola has done of Hellboy and are really great. And then after that, the movie kind of takes it in its own direction with scenes sprinkled in from the comics, and it's not as engaging. The story that the movie comes up with just isn't as good as the stuff in the comics, but there's still some really great scenes in there. There's a particularly fantastic rendition of one of those apocalyptic visions you get all the time in the comics of Hellboy becoming the beast of the apocalypse at the end of the world, and it is just done perfect in this movie. It is amazing to see, and there's a great final battle at the end with the pig monster as well, which is well worth watching. I just found it to be an enjoyable movie. If you're a fan of Hellboy, I think it's certainly worth taking a look at and giving it a try. So this is going to set you back about $30, and for a set that has a 4K in it, that my understanding is that's a pretty average price. So I think this is well worth the money if you're looking for, well, especially if you have a 4K player. But if you don't, you know, this gorgeous cover is just well worth it to me. I'm sure that this will appear as a page in a Hellboy collection at some point, but you know, this is your only chance to get this as a display piece and, you know, on this gorgeous shiny box. So if you're a fan of Mignola and a fan of Hellboy, I think this is well worth picking up, and I think this is a movie worth owning if you're a fan of Hellboy, regardless of what format you get it in. This I would consider to be one of 3 DVDs you should own as a Hellboy fan. You should own this one, you should own the original movie, and you should own the animated movies, which are now on like 1 disc. But to me, that's the good Hellboy movies. I really didn't like Hellboy 2. Some people did, that's great if you did, but it was one of the worst movies I've ever sat through. So to me, this is kind of the 3 Hellboy DVDs that are a must buy if you're a fan of that character and of Mignola. And if you're not, then you probably ought to go spend your money on something else. Do something else with your time. Go, knit or scrapbook or something. But if you're a fan of Hellboy, this should probably make you pretty happy. All right. Like and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, see ya.